Hello everyone and welcome to another training video. So in this video we're going to see how to do a full complete start up and shut down of the Agusta-Bell AB412. So we are going to use the provided checklist for the helicopter, the X-Trident Bell AB412 for X-Plane 11 and 12, and here we are in X-Plane 11, but it works the same for X-Plane 12. So helicopter weight, calculate and note that when you are loading in the flight, you get to choose the payload weight, fuel weight, that's where you're going to be getting the helicopter weights. External covers, remove before flight. Now you can have key bindings for them, or you can come here, plugins, 412, and then remove before flight. Okay? Overhead panel switches all off or normal. So just make sure off or normal. Usually I leave the anti-collision light on, but here we will follow the checklist. Instrument and panel lights as required. You use those knobs. Okay, for the corresponding light you want to set, I will leave them as they are. NVG selector as required. We are not going to be using NVG. Rotor brake lever, full up. External air temperature indicator, there it is, almost 30 degrees, and magnetic compass is here. Altimeters set as required. Okay, so wherever you get the information using ATIS, or if you know the airport elevation, like here, you set it, or you set the millibar here if you have the information. Okay, so next item, static source primary. There it is, static source on, primary. Hoist power switch off. Hoist power switch off, and the cut cable is already off, as you can see here, but just to verify it is off. Hydraulic switches, hydraulic system switches both on. Number 1, number 2. Rotor RPM audio set to audio. 4-stream on and guarded. Okay, so 4-stream, it is on, guarded. Fuel panel, all switches off or normal. There we go, off. Those are on, normal. Landing lights switches off. External power connected and on if available. We will use external power just for the demonstration here. Once again, you can have key bindings for them, or you can just come here and now you have external power. External power light check on. External power light check on. Battery 1 and 2 on, check green light. Okay, check green light. Battery bus 1 and 2 on. Battery bus here. Generator 1 and 2 you leave on off, and inverter 1 and 2 on. Voltmeters check 104 to 122 volts. Yes, 104 to 122 volts. AP1 and 2 push check on. And you also have the corresponding autopilot light that will go off. Okay, and it's on. Autopilot 2 off. Now SAS attitude. Here, when I'm hand flying the helicopter, I will leave it on SAS. And when I want to use the autopilot, then I will switch to ATT. Okay, and if you want to know how you set this configurations, you don't have to mirror exactly what I do here. It's a personal preference. SAS effectiveness on low, And here we will cover this in other tutorials, custom failures off, on, or depending what you want. Dolly, we will cover this another tutorial. Realistic alt mode, HSI dual VOR. I have a centering joystick, so I untick this and I enable replay. Okay, so non-essential bus switch as required. For the moment, you can do what you want, but here we will put it to normal, and later we will come back to this switch. Emergency load switch normal. This is the emergency load switch. Here it's up on normal. Position lights as required. I will just turn my anti-collision light here and put it on steady. Instrument and panel lights once again as required. Rotor brake apply. Now before applying the rotor brake, just make sure message is not displayed to begin with. Okay, now apply the rotor brake. Now we have the rotor brake message. Good. There we go. Rotor brake full up. Fire pull handles check in. Fire pull handles are here. They are in. Extinguisher off. Fire extinguisher press to test button. Those guys will light up. Baggage fire press. Okay. Flashing light. Cyclic center light. There it is. Push and check light. Over torque. Now look at this needle here. It will go out all the way up there, and then the over torque will light up. There you go. Over torque. Fuel quantity indicator set forward mid to check needles. Forward. Mid. Okay. Digital fuel quantity. If NVG is on, it will be off. We don't have NVG on. And press test. It should display 888. 888 was displayed. Warning panel lights. Let's do the test. So let's come here, so you can see all the lights lighting up. Yes. Over torque, RPM. Yes. Okay. 4-string switch. Check on. Hydraulic on both. Governance 1 and 2. Particle separators on. Fuel crossfeed income normal. Engine fuel 1 and 2 off. Crossfeed normal. Boost pumps off. Incon normal. Fuel trans 1 and 2 off. Rotor RPM increase decrease, set to decrease and hold for 8 seconds. Increase here, decrease here, so set to decrease and hold for 8 seconds. Okay, and then plus or minus 2 for 5 seconds. Okay, now throttles, check full excursion. Okay, that's 1, that's 2, and now set to idle to check idle stop. Yep, idle stop. And now idle stop 1 and 2 select. So throttles back to stop. Now we're going to be doing the engine startup. Both batteries shell should be used. Okay, anti-collision lights on. Okay, we'll make sure it's on. External air temperature indicator 28. Okay, now fuel engine 1, fuel trans, boost pump, fuel valve check on. corresponding lights go off. Engine 1 fuel pressure, check pressure 4 to 35 psi. 4 to 35 psi. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to be starting engine number 1. Okay, we are going to put it like maybe this here so that we can see what's happening. So this is the starter switch, so this side, okay, for engine 1 and this side for engine 2. Now when the engine reaches 12%, we will open the throttle to max and then put it to idle. We monitor that this gauge here does not reach 10-19, no longer than 2 seconds, okay? And when it reaches 55% here, we will put the starter switch back to the center position. Okay, so starting engine number 1. Okay, so motor temperature here, almost 55, so there you go, back to center. Now we monitor. Engine 1 out light off. Engine 1 EGP check. Engine 1 RPM check 61% plus or minus 1. 61% plus or minus 1. Engine 1 gauges just checked. Transmission gauges. Okay. Engine 1 particle separator light check off. Hydraulic 1 and 2 check off. Engine 1 throttle. So let's do one by one. Okay, engine 1. Okay. Throttle increase above 77% and F and R. Now NF and R. And R is the one with the R, and F is the one with the 1 or 2, depending on the engine. So here, jet increase above 77%. There we go. Above 77%. Cyclic check. If possible, do not move unless the transmission temp below 15 degrees. Okay, it is below 15 degrees. Cyclic center light check off. That's the light here. Check off. And R check between 77 and 94. We check cyclic function move stick and it should light up. There you go. Move stick and it lights up. Note cyclic light will not work above 95% and up. Okay, now if engine 1 startup has to perform with external power, use the same stroke for engine 2 and skip to the startup sequence. Engine 1 has started perform when both batteries etc. etc. So we will continue with the GPU. So engine 2 start up. Let's put this guy back to idle. Okay, so Gen 1 on. Gen 1 on. Ammeter check. There it is. Battery 2 on when Gen 1 ammeter is below 150. Battery 2 is already on. Voltmeter 27 plus 1. 27 plus or minus 1. Start engine 2 following the same procedure as for engine 1. Okay. Trans boost plant fuel on. Like this, starting engine number 2. Stabilize 61%. External power unplug if connected. It is connected, so we will unplug. Gen 1 on, Gen 2 on. Okay, and you will see this guy just switch to off here. Non-essential bulb switch, like I was saying at the beginning, check automatically switch to normal. We already had it on normal, so here it is. It will remain on normal. Battery bus switch, check 1 plus 1. Check automatically switch to off. We just saw it switch to off. Battery light on warning panel, check off. And if nothing is displayed anyway. Electric system, check AC voltmeter 104, 122. Yes, 104, 122, green. Ammeters within limits in the green. Inverter. Okay, so here, inverter 1 set to off. Okay. Here, inverter 1 light, AC voltmeters, check. Both fed by inverter 2. Yes, both are fed by inverter 2. Inverter 1 set to on. Now I suppose we will repeat for inverter 2. Okay, set to off. Same thing here, inverter 2. And then fed by inverter 1 this time. Inverter 2 set to on. Radio and navigation panel on and set as required. So just set as required here. Governance test to be performed at first flight of the day. Okay. Throttle 1 and 2 already set to idle. Governor 1 set to manual while holding throttle 1. Governor 1 set to manual. Okay, engine. There it is. Check decrease at least 3%. Barely noticeable. Governor manual light on warning panel. There it is. On. Okay, so here throttle 1 gently increase 70% to check engine increase. Yes, engine increases to 70%. Okay, now throttle 1 gently decrease to idle and set off to auto again. So gently decrease to idle and then set this to auto again and then repeat same test for governor 2. we go. Increase to 70. Good. Now here and back on. And our governance test. Throttle 1 gently increase to max. Engine 1 and F check stable at 95% plus or minus 1. Now it's at max, so stable 95% plus or minus 1. Good. Throttle 2 gently increase to max, same thing here. Remember, NF is the one with the number for the corresponding engine, so this is NF2, and R is the R, so smaller needle. Now it's to max. Let's see if it stabilizes at 95% plus or minus 1. Stabilizes at 95%. Set and hold to increase. Okay, so here, hold to increase. Okay. Check increase to 101.5%. Okay. Now decrease to set 100%. So here we will decrease this to 100%. There it is, 100%. And now we will use the plus 2 minus 2 to couple those two needles. Set to couple engine 1 and 2 engine. There it is. So okay. So we should be having the same readings here. Actually, not quite there yet. There you go. Okay, the needles are coupled and we have the same reading here. Now cross feed valve check. Cross feed valve switch, check normal position. Yes. Cross feed income switch, this one, set to test boost 1. Okay. Boost pump 1 set to off. Now we'll have a look at the warning here. Okay, because the fuel crossfeed on warning panel will light up temporarily. Okay, here temporarily. So boost pump 1 off. There it goes. Light on. There you go. And now check decrease and increase to 4 to 6 psi less than engine 2. You can already see here. Okay, less than engine 2. Now, where were we? Cross feed income switch set to normal. And boost pump 1 on. Now we will repeat the test, but with bus 2 and boost pump 2. There we go. Boost pump number 2, the same thing here. Light goes on and 46 psi less, and we put this back to normal. And here boost pump on, everything back to normal. Okay, fuel crossfeed switch set to override close. Boost pump 1 and 2 alternatively set to off and then to on. Engine 1 and 2 fuel pressure check, press drop to 0 when boost pumps off. So we'll put boost pump on first, off, boost pump 1 off, drops to 0 here, and then boost pump number 2 drops to 0. Okay, crossfeed fuel boost motion control shell light up during test. I saw that. Now crossfeed income switch set to bus 1. It's normal. This to bus 1. So here fuel income switch set to open and then to override close. Okay, we saw temporary light up there, and then fuel income and master console light temporary got up. So let's check the master console light also. Yes, there you go. Crossfeed income switch set to bus 2. Okay, now we do the opposite. Yes, there you go. Income set to no. Radio altimeter button. Okay, so test button press, check indicator goes to 100 feet and the red flag will be visible. Red flag visible, goes to 100 feet, release, disappear. Hydraulic systems check. 4-string collective cyclic set to off. There we go. Hydraulic system 1 switch set to off. Decreases to 0. Hydraulic here. Master portion light up. There you go. Hydraulic system 2 switch set to off. Okay, no change here. Still where it was. Hydraulic system remains on. Hydraulic system 1 switch, now we switch that to on. Now, okay, this one goes up. For number 2 it goes down. Okay, and then hydraulic system 1. Okay, hydraulic system switch back to on. Okay, both back up. Hydraulic system 2 master portion light go off. 4-stream set to on, and these guys. Okay. Now the FC actuators check centered. I don't know why sometimes it's not centered. So what you can do here is configuration, trim reset. Now they are centered. If you wanted to check on, this as required, as already explained. Now pillow heat. Now it will be barely noticeable. So just pay attention here. It's exactly on that white bar here. We'll turn the pitot heat on. As you can see, it's slightly above, but anyway, there is an increase in load. That's what we needed to check, and we will put this back to off. Okay, so now pre-take-off checklist. We will go through the pre-take-off checklist also. Auxiliary fuel tanks, if installed. I don't have them installed, but if you have them installed, these switches will turn them on. Internal and external light as required, of course. And here MFD turn on. And after warm-up, select the desired function. Okay, so let's select the map. Pilot static heater switch as required. Navigation panels check working and set your panels as required. Standby attitude turn on and check instrument flag. When you have that instrument flag here, it's off. And it's on here. The instrument panel, and this guy now is on. And then cargo release switch as required. Vent blower once again as required. Heater as required. Outlet as required. Okay, now engines, transmission, electrical and hydraulic gauges check within limits. Okay, warning panel. Check hydraulic system 1 and 2. Check gauges. RPM selector, check 100%. Plus or minus 2. Engines coupled. Radar altimeter, set decision height. You can use this knob here to set the decision height. IFF on and set as instructed by ATC. Okay, you will set as instructed by ATC. Landing lights on. Yes, select SAS or altitude as required. Once again, like I said, I manually fly with SAS, and I turn ATT when I'm gonna use the autopilot. Now floats inflate switch as required. So if you want to arm it or leave it off as required, and then crew ready for takeoff. Now we have the takeoff checklist and climb, cruise, etc. So we're going to go to the after landing checklist and prepare for the shutdown. So collective, full down, cyclic and pedals centered. If you wanted to deselect, rotor decrease switch, hold decrease for 8 seconds. Okay, so throttles 77% and maintain for 1 minute to cool down. Okay, this side. Okay, now instruments check within limits. Pitot heater switch off. All those off as required. So I will turn off my landing lights 2 MFD off, IFF off, standby attitude off. All the other guys we don't have on anyway. There we go. Now engines shut down. Gen 1 switch off. Butler switch already off. Okay, now we will turn off engine number 1. There we go. Engine 1 ITT decreasing when NG below 5%. Okay. Fuel switch, boost pump, and fuel trans off for engine 1. Fuel switch, boost pump, fuel trans off for engine 1. Now idle stop release for engine number 2, and then now we'll shut down engine number 2. Okay. Now here Gen 2 switch off. Gen 2 switch off. ITT check decreasing. Yes, decreasing. And when below 5%, fuel switch, boost pump, and trans off for engine number 2. Do not apply unless have been shut down, etc., etc. Below 40%. Okay, below 40%. Now we can apply the rotor brakes. Until it comes to a complete stop here, and now release. Before leaving the cockpit, the radio, navigation panels off, navigation light, all these off. Okay. Inverter 1 and 2, like I said, I like to leave the anti-collision light on. Inverter 1 and 2 off. Battery bus switches off, and battery 1 and 2 off, lights off. There you go. We have completed the shutdown. Now remove before flight devices. You can put them back on, and logbook if you're keeping a record of your flights. So there it is, how to do a full start up and shutdown in the Agusta-Bell 412 by X-Trident for X-Plane 11 and X-Plane 12. And here we were in X-Plane 11, it works the same for X-Plane 12. Hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in another video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.